this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends, this being more than friends, yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day, yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel I won't say a word, just let you breathe. I won't make a sound, I won't slow you down. I knew we were on borrowed time, just a passing streak, nothing you would keep. I fell in too deep, and as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on that last goodbye. See you standing by the door, watching the leaves as they fall once more. In the silence we made, I couldn't find the words to say. They linger in my mind. Oh, I wished you'd stay. Oh, I wished you'd stay. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on the last goodbye. Last goodbye. Last goodbye. Last goodbye. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on the last goodbye. say? How will I cope? With your heart on your sleeve, it's a fine line between letting go and losing control. So I take my love and hide it from those who see, till I find my way. How will I call? How will I call? How will I call? I can't sleep, but I'm hardly awake. Such a fine romance. Bit by bit, I am slowly waking to see what's real, to finally heal. How will I call without your word? How will I call without your heartbeat? How will I call without your love? How will I call without your word? How will I call without your heartbeat? How will I call without your love? How will I call? With your hand in your heart, oh please tell me you're not cold. White is the color of flowers in springtime. Red the color of blood through my veins. Blue is the color of when you were leaving. Tell me, let me know what you feel inside. 'Cause you don't know me by name. You don't know me by name. It's like you don't know me by name anymore. Some people say that the path you are choosing only leads to where you wanna go. Some people say you forgive and forget, but tell me, let me know what you feel inside. 'Cause you don't know me by name. You don't Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup